Hello, I'm Jonasz Lewiński and you're watching Break the Fake. They make them, we break them, and tell you everything you need to know. So Russia's latest military strategy is truly a stroke of genius. According to a leaked conversation featuring Duma deputy and General Alexander Borodai, they have masterfully gathered the so-called useless people, their words, not mine, from all corners of the nation. And instead of letting these individuals idle away, they have been generously offered a one-way ticket, yeah, you've guessed it, to the front lines. Equipped with vintage weaponry, old guns, antique cannons, and just enough ammunition to make things interesting, these conscripts are tasked with the noble mission of wearing down the enemy. It is a brilliant cost-saving measure. Why invest in modern equipment or proper training when you can recycle rusted ancient relics and human lives simultaneously? One must admire the efficiency of recruiting contract soldiers at exorbitant salaries only to send them marching towards almost certain doom. It's almost as if the leadership is conducting a grand social experiment. How quickly can we deplete our surplus population while pretending to wage a competent military campaign? Perhaps this is Russia's innovative approach to unemployment and overpopulation. After all, nothing screams strategic prowess like treating your own citizens as disposable assets. It is a win-win situation, for those in power anyway. The so-called useless people get a purpose, albeit a brief one, and the generals get to play war with life pieces. The end result is the tragic undervaluing of human life by a government which is spectacularly out of touch, sacrificing countless lives for dubious gains, all while patting themselves on the back for their cunning tactics. Truly, a masterclass in leadership and compassion. Bravo, Russia! You've outdone yourself yet again. The brilliance of modern education knows no bounds. In a stunning display of critical thinking, 7 schools in Russia's Voronezh region eagerly embraced an unusual directive. A Belarusian prankster, Rudislav Boshan, masquerading as a government official, sent out an urgent memo instructing schools to craft tinfoil hats. The purpose? To protect against harmful radiation from NATO satellites. Naturally, this seemed like a top priority for educators.
Изготовление шапочек из фольги – это не только интересное и творческое занятие, но и важный патриотический акт, символизирующий готовность защищать свою родину от внешних угроз. Пусть наша шапочка станет символом единства и стойкости перед лицом внешних вызовов.
Armed with aluminum foil and a healthy dose of gullibility, teachers and students dove into the Helmet of the Motherland project. Forget math, forget science, the real enemy is overhead, beaming nefarious rays straight into your minds. One can only imagine the classroom discussions. Today, class, we're combining arts and crafts with national security. But wait, it gets better. Not only did these schools take the bait, but the Russian Ministry of Education also gave the initiative a hearty thumbs up. Yes, the very institution responsible for shaping future generations saw no issue with endorsing homemade anti-satellite headgear. Who needs critical thinking when you have state-approved paranoia? Meanwhile, our Belarusian trickster could hardly believe his luck. What started as a satirical jab became a full-fledged educational movement. He was stunned. Not just that the schools participated so enthusiastically, but that the whole charade caught the eye of the ministry itself. It's almost poetic how a prank intended to expose a lack of skepticism ended up highlighting it on a national scale. In the end, this episode serves as both comedy gold and a cautionary tale. If nothing else, at least the students honed their crafting skills. Skills they will surely need in a world where critical thinking takes a backseat to blind obedience. So here is to the educators who turned the prank into policy. May your tinfoil hats always protect you from the inconvenient rays of reality. Somewhere far, far away, Alex Jones himself is nodding in approval. The magical power of a phone call. Who knew that global conflicts could be resolved with a simple chat over the line? It seems that both Donald Trump and Friedrich Merz, leader of the Christian Democratic Union Party in Germany, have discovered the ultimate diplomatic tool: their own voices. Trump, never one to underestimate his own abilities, suggested that he could end the Russia-Ukraine war with a single call to his old pal Vladimir Putin. Not to be outdone, Merz, the German Chancellor hopeful, echoed the same sentiment, perhaps believing that his German charm would succeed where others have failed. It is almost endearing how these figures think that complex geopolitical tensions involving countless lives and international stakes can be untangled by a quick dial and a few choice words. Maybe they imagine Putin waiting by the phone, eagerly anticipating their wisdom, ready to lay down arms at their behest. After all, why bother with sanctions, diplomacy, or international cooperation when the sheer force of their personalities is enough to sway even the most obstinate leaders? Now, what's truly telling is that even the Kremlin's own propagandists, the masters of spinning tall tales, are not buying this. When the experts in disinformation find your claims too far-fetched to promote, that's when you know you've ventured into the realm of the absurd. Perhaps Putin himself had a good chuckle picturing these would-be peacemakers believing they hold such sway over his actions.
Если он выполнит то, что все время сейчас говорил, вот буквально в ближайшее время до инаугурации позвонит вам и скажет: Владимир, давай встречаться.
Вы знаете, я не считаю зазорным и со своей стороны ему позвонить. Просто не делаю этого, потому что руководители западных государств с какого этапа, они чуть ли не каждую неделю мне звонили, а потом вдруг прекратили. Ну, не хотят, ну, не надо. Мы, как видите, живы, здоровы, и ничего, и развиваемся, идем вперед. Если кто-то из них захочет возобновить контакты, я всегда говорил, хочу еще раз сказать, мы ничего против не имеем. Пожалуйста, будем контакты возобновлять и вести дискуссии. Ну, желающих вести дискуссии много, вот здесь целый зал. Но если нет, мы будем с вами вести дискуссии.
Ну, хорошо, значит, переключаем канал. Там выступает любой из американских политиков, извините, любой из кандидатов в президенты США. У них мир плоский, у них мир простой. Я за 24 часа остановлю войну. Я тут тучи разведу руками, а я вот тут щелкну пальцем, значит, и все испугаются, и все убегут. А вот у нас Трамп. Вы, по-моему, тоже говорили, что, ну, действительно, там есть сложности с Трампом. Мужик он хороший, но не орел. Вот, как из того фильма. Но, а вот вы посмотрите, о чем он говорит. Он говорит одну очень... Он постоянно повторяет: «Я заключу мир с Россией с позиции силы». А я вам скажу так. Это очень горькое признание для президента Соединенных Штатов. Он готов с нами разговаривать, сейчас стал. А, кстати, не был готов с нами разговаривать по Украине, когда он был президентом. Потому что мы стали в позиции силы. Успехами на фронте, успехами в экономике, сохранением единства страны внутри, очищением страны от откровенно деструктивных элементов, мы стали в отношениях с Соединенными Штатами в позицию силы.
As for the Western leaders, one has to wonder, did they think to ask Ukraine how they feel about this miraculous solution? Or is it the plan to ultimately unilaterally decide the fate of nations over a friendly chat, ignoring the agency of those actually embroiled in the conflict, the territories lost, the population displaced and exposed to persecution? It is a classic case of ego overshadowing reality, where grandstanding takes precedence over genuine effort. In the end, these proclamations serve more as a reflection of their own self-importance than as a viable strategy for peace. If only resolving wars were as easy as making a phone call, the world would be such a simple place. So what's next? Solving world hunger by texting? Drafting a Middle East peace deal on a Discord chat? Replacing UN conferences with a virtual meetup on Roblox? The possibilities are endless, though whether they are also desirable is a different question. And with this, we conclude this episode of Break the Fake. Please stay with us here on TDP World for more latest news and updates.